Mike at Premier Pet Supply, and today we're talking about skin infections, and I gotta admit, I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about that.
Well, that's a good thing because it seems like Zen is probably in pretty decent shape and doesn't have any skin issues, but you would know it if Zen did. A lot of itching and scratching, you'd see red and irritated skin.
Ooh, okay.
And that can be very uncomfortable for a dog.
Okay.
So the medications that are put out there and sometimes prescribed are going to do a good job of quickly providing comfort, but all it's going to do is mask the problem at hand, and it's not going to create an environment that's, it's going to leave them, sure, it's going to leave them susceptible to getting even worse issues and worse reactions for sure. So what we want to do is create an environment that's healthier.
Okay.
So Scouts Honor has done a great job with their probiotic
I do like
skin
this
spray.
brand. You've recommended it.
Yeah, we've told you we've used their shampoo in our dog wash rooms, and we have spray deodorizers, all with these probiotics.
Okay.
And it's a live culture of bacteria that creates a colony that forces out fungus and yeast that creates these bacterial type topical infections on the skin of the dog.
Okay.
So usually like what we would say is, if the dog is having skin issues, use like a salmon oil supplement.
Oh.
Or feed a food that has salmon in it because of omega fatty acids. Although that helps keep the skin healthy, it's still not going to do the greatest job of fighting off any type of infection that may be invasive to the skin of the dog.
Okay. And do you often recommend salmon products for this issue?
Yeah, it's typically a good idea if you see that the skin is dry and flaky. But we're talking about is a different issue. It's more irritated and red, oftenly called hot spots. Areas that the dog continuously goes after and creates a really bad issue. And you can see it can even get to a point where it starts to bleed because they scratch so much.
Now, question, like Zen, because he's a Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix, he has like really thick hair.
Yeah.
Is that something that I should be like looking for, or it'll be obvious?
It starts to become obvious if you see him scratching and it becomes something that just is noticeable.
Okay.
That's when you really know, but it's never a bad idea to really look closely while you're petting and just looking at the dog to see if there's any issues at all.
And then overall, go to your vet if you are really concerned.
If it gets really terrible, obviously we always say to defer to your vet, but there's ways that you can offset some of these issues while we're trying to figure out the underlying issue, which typically is dietary, and the food that you're feeding creates and causes these issues. But in the meantime, just to provide comfort, you want a really good product like this.
So it wouldn't be like an irritant they may have been exposed to when they're out and about on a walk or something. It's usually their diet.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because it can be a seasonal environmental type of an allergy, and it's a matter of figuring that out, but usually through a process of elimination by switching a diet and feeding something a little cleaner and more simple, we can figure that out.
Because I was going to say, throughout our walk, Zen finds like different spots of grass to just roll around it.
Yeah, my dog does the same. So one way to figure out if it's seasonal or not is if it stops in the wintertime, then it's seasonal.
Gotcha.
But if it continues through the winter, then it's more of a dietary issue.
All right, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Mike.
Yep.